Hey everyone, this is Nefertiti Gold and welcome back to the Golden Hour. This is a bite-sized podcast where I share my journey as a content creator and what I'm learning along the way so that you guys can grow with me. So I started a secret podcast and I didn't tell anyone. It's exclusively available on an app called Tin Can, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. This video is brought to you by Fifine. They did not sponsor this video, but they did send me the Fifine K678 for me to check out, review, and share it with you guys. And I figured the best way to test this microphone is to actually test it against my own podcast that I do have. The Fifine K678 podcast microphone is a plug-and-play stereo condenser microphone. And I know that kind of sounds like a mouthful, but all that really means is that you'll be able to plug it into your computer and it should recognize it right away. And because it's a condenser mic, that just means it's a little bit more sensitive and it should pick up more sound. The first thing we'll get into is the unboxing of the microphone, and I'll show you what it comes with. So when I first got this box, the main thing that I noticed about it was that it was actually pretty heavy when I was like picking it up, and usually that's a good sign of something that is of quality. So we're just gonna go ahead and open her up and see what exactly it comes with. So we have the user guide right there. This right here is like the adapter for like a mic stand. Put that off to the side. This is the mic itself, and it already comes kind of pre-mounted to its own stand, which is actually really good. It's really heavy. Let's actually put this away. And this seems to be the USB. So yeah, this is the USB plug-in, user manual, USB cable. We have an adapter for any microphone stand that you might use. And this is the actual mic itself. The front of the microphone has a mute button, which is really useful. If you're talking off microphone or if you have somebody else that's also speaking, you can just hit this mute button here and just kind of keep out the background noise if somebody else is speaking. And then on the back here, we have two buttons, which is you have the mic gain and your headphone volume. That means that you'll be able to monitor yourself and adjust your levels accordingly. On the bottom, headphone jack, and then you have the USB port. So we're gonna go ahead and plug this in and give this a try. So for my podcast, I normally use GarageBand, and that's where I'll be testing the audio for the podcast microphone. I normally use another microphone for the podcast, which is the Blue Encore 200. It's a phantom powered stage microphone, and I have that plugged into my interface, which is the Scarlett 6i6. For this audio test, we're gonna bring this camera a little bit closer. So right now I've switched over to the Blue Encore 200 and this is what it sounds like. Hey everyone, this is Nefertiti Gold and welcome back to the Golden Hour. This is a bite-sized podcast where I share my journey as a content creator and what I'm learning along the way so that you guys can grow with me. So what we're going to do now is switch over to the Fifine K678 and go from there. So this is the audio for the Fifine K678 and this is what it sounds like. Hey everyone, this is Nefertiti Gold and welcome back to the Golden Hour. This is a bite-sized podcast where I share my journey as a content creator and what I'm learning along the way so that you guys can grow with me. So what we're gonna do now is just basically play the audio back and forth and you guys tell me what you think. So right now I've switched over to the Blue Encore 200 and this is what it sounds like. Hey everyone, this is Nefertiti Gold and welcome back to the Golden Hour. This is a bite-sized podcast where I share my journey as a content creator and what I'm learning along the way so that you guys can grow with me. So this is the audio for the Fifine K678 and this is what it sounds like. Hey everyone, this is Nefertiti Gold and welcome back to the Golden Hour. This is a bite-sized podcast where I share my journey as a content creator and what I'm learning along the way so that you guys can grow with me. And we'll do it one more time for each one. So right now I've switched over to the Blue Encore 200 and this is what it sounds like. Hey everyone, this is Nefertiti Gold and welcome back to the Golden Hour. This is a bite-sized podcast where I share my journey as a content creator and what I'm learning along the way so that you guys can grow with me. So this is the audio for the Fifine K678 and this is what it sounds like. Hey everyone, this is Nefertiti Gold and welcome back to the Golden Hour. This is a bite-sized podcast where I share my journey as a content creator and what I'm learning along the way so that you guys can grow with me. And that is the end of the audio test. Let me give you my final conclusions and we'll talk about that podcast that I mentioned earlier. Okay, final conclusions when it comes to the Fifine K678. I think in general, it's a pretty good mic for somebody who's just starting out. It does come with its own little kickstand, so you don't have to worry about buying a microphone stand. But compared to the Blue Encore, I would choose the Blue Encore just off of the fact that the Blue picks up just better low-end information and you can really hear the bulk and beef of the voice versus the K678 is really missing that low-end information and you hear a lot of the high frequencies, and because you hear a lot of that, that's why you get like that a more thin sounding kind of vocal coming back at you. The only difference is the Blue Encore, as of right now, last I checked, is about $150 on Amazon. So if you're not looking to spend that much, then the Fifine K678 is a good option. It's around $89 last I checked on Amazon. I'll put links below for you guys to check it out for yourself. The Blue Encore doesn't necessarily come with a mic stand. It's going to be more than $150 startup cost because you're going to need a mic stand. Is going to cost more than $150 because you have to take that into account. And then on top of it, because the Blue Encore is a phantom powered microphone, you need phantom power. I have an interface that I plug it into. That startup cost for the Blue Encore is way more than the K678, which is just a plug and play microphone. And for my computer, it actually recognized it like super easy. Like as soon as I plugged it in, automatically asked me like, hey, do you want to use the Fifine for your audio input? Like right away, no issues. I am using it on a Mac. I'm not sure how it works on a PC. From some of the other reviews that I've seen, doesn't seem to have an issue with pairing with different types of computers. Like I said before, this video is not sponsored, so this is my unbiased review. And as I mentioned earlier, I started a secret podcast, and the real reason why I did that is because I just wanted another avenue to create, and I wanted to create something that was just more so along the lines of just being positive and motivational and not so directly related to music, but derived from music. My podcast is currently exclusively available on Tin Can, which is a really dope app that I just came across on Instagram, and it gave me like really old school late night talk radio kind of vibes, and it just kind of hooked me from there. I listened to a few of the other shows that were on there by different users, and some people definitely embrace like that nostalgic feeling of like late night radio, and then there's like other people who do kind of almost like daytime talk, you know, critical thinking. There's other people that share their music, and I think it's a really dope app. The awesome people over at Tin Can actually reached out to me, hey Vivid, and they made this really cool animation. So I'm going to put that right here. You'd be surprised how life can really make a turn for the better if we all just learn to harness the power of our minds and manifest, like truly manifest the things that we desire. Without the proper mindset, trying to implement any of the other points that I mentioned in previous episodes is going to be way harder than it should be. And I can understand the journey to where we want to go isn't always easy, but sometimes it doesn't have to be that hard either. If you want to start a podcast, don't wait. Start now, start with what you have. If you download the Tin Can app, it makes it super easy to start your podcast like that. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to slap up that subscribe. I haven't done that in a while. Slap up that subscribe, hit that like button. If you did not like this video, make sure you hit that dislike button twice, and I will see you guys next time.